This is the Clan of the Hill Game 3 here, sponsored by SC2C.com. Awesome website, go there. We have nGenWild brought forward for nGen, obviously GGnoRE being the reigning champion. PVT, what do you think?
PVT, wow, a very challenging game for Protoss during the first 8 minutes or so. So I think the advantage, especially this map as well, will go towards Wild. But we might see a more macro-oriented game, and I think that's when NoRe could come into his strength. But I'll be very interested to see how this plays out. It's quite a large map, very long rush distance, so maybe the early game won't play as much of a big part as it possibly could for smaller maps. What do you think?
Yeah, true. I just want to talk really quickly, obviously about the map, but also about Wild. Now, at the Clan of the Hill last week, I just want to point out that Wild lost his only game then.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Well, that sucks.
My faith right now is quite low. Wild, you have to redeem it, although during the week he did kick my ass, so whatever. Also, the map, though, Match Point, there's an IC Cup map. We don't see it played much. A few features I want to point out quickly. Natural Expansion is pretty close to the main, but is a big map. But whilst it is a big map, not that many bases.
Yeah, very true, very true. The thing I like about this map is that you've got quite a small choke there into the main, and you've got a reasonably easily protected natural, but the thing is that can come into play is there's some high ground there, and you can actually you use vision if you're a Terran player to tank the mineral line, as in you can use siege tanks to blow away the mineral line without actually having to go up into the choke.
Yeah, definitely, that could come into play if he does take his natural base. Also, the third base is mineral only. I find that quite interesting because usually, as a Zerg player, when I want my third base, usually it's just for gas for a while.
Yeah. So I guess when it comes to the third base, there is the other expansion towards the I guess 6 o'clock and the 12 o'clock on the map. I'm not sure how easily defended that is, though, due to the fact that it's only got a thin ledge all the way around it. So once again, I think that would favour Colossus or tanks that could quite easily do some massive damage there with their range.
Yeah, definitely. I also want to point out, though, surprisingly different how the map works out, but the 12 o'clock position is actually Wild's fourth base. I mean, despite it being so close to actually GGnoRE's base, it's actually quite far by ground. The third base up the top as well, there is this major intersection here just below it where if you park an army, you can really split the bases apart, and it's really hard to deal with.
Yeah, right. It's very, very cool, man. Interesting to see this, because you don't, as you said, don't see many games on these maps, especially in the SEA region. As these games maps are more favoured in the Korean servers, so it'd be really good to see. But what we've got going on now, I think we've got. Let's look at the production tab. Slow's coming online, so we're going to see some nice early Marauders. We've got gate tech, so it looks like a warp gate build, maybe even Robo, because he's only got one gate, but one gas as well. So.
Interesting. I'm actually curious about this probe in the top left here. I don't know, I've been watching it quite a bit, but maybe he doesn't know the map that well and thinks there might be a base up there, might try to pile on there later. I just think it's there for some reason. I want to know why.
Yeah, I was thinking before he just warped in a bunch of buildings and being gateways, so we're going to see a 4-gate. I thought he might have been going for the really common Protoss 1 gate into Robo and fast expand. It's a really powerful build against Terran. You can use one gate with your Chrono Boost, and you can actually you can actually produce Zealots and Stalkers, and coupled with Sentries, they're really good at holding off Terran pressure. But there is no fast expansion there. We are going to see a 4-gate. Maybe early push, but this map is really big for a ground army.
There is a Reaper outside GGnoRE's base. He's going to move in now, and there is actually 2 units and a pylon being spawned near Wild's base. This Reaper going in now, nothing there to defend it.
I mean, it's lucky he just got the warp gate technology online there, but he's going to manage to take out, a couple of probes. Looks like maybe even 3 probes. Getting that Reaper out there, look at that. Wow, really good harassment there. Just getting in there, seeing what's going on, taking out a few probes, definitely paying for himself, and then also managing to get out before it's time to get shot by that Stalker. But now we have, as SCV just went to build a bunker, he got sniped, and then we've got a push coming on the front door. I'm not sure if Wild is going to have enough to stop this push. What do you think? He's building
a bunker. If he gets that bunker up, I don't think he's going to be able to get in. He's trying to repair it, but that does go down. He's going to start moving in here, but this is a massive choke to try and filter through. He is putting SCVs in there just to sort of hold that, and he will hold. But the question is now, he's lost map control. I would like to see GGnoRE expand at this point. That would be a very strong move. Obviously, if you have your opponent contained, they can't deny your expansion. But still, what do you think?
I think like this is really interesting here how he's got the pylon there. He's cancelled it, so I thought he was going to go for a one-base push, like an all-in kind of build there to start off. Well, so it's not really an all-in, but very aggressive start. But he's decided to pull back a bit. And the thing that's interesting to note is that we've got a command center here. He hasn't actually made it into an orbital command there, so I would like to see Wild making that into an orbital command, maybe even using that extra mule capability on the existing mineral. And there we go, on the mineral line, so he gets that income up, and then he can actually use that command center, float it above to get a bit of extra vision, see what army is there, and then push out, take the natural, and then make this into a mid-game.
True, you can also just take it off and move it down to that 6 o'clock position there, because there's no reason to check it. I mean, really, he's not going to have perfect map control, and if he can get it down there and can get a hidden econ going, it could put GGnoRE in a overconfident position here, and he might overextend. Whenever Reaper coming back in, doing some harassment in the back of his base, though, killing probes.
That Reaper is one pesky son of a gun. He's darting around and getting chased down by a stalker now. Oh no!
Does get killed there.
Yeah.
But he has also spotted the expansion, though. That is big.
It is. It means, and look, we see some. I'm not sure if it's going to be aggression or if it's just going to be securing his natural. He's going to be securing his natural. I'm talking about nGenWild here.
Yep.
nGenWild. So both players opting, I think, mainly due to the size of the map, to progress this into the mid game. Looking at production tab for nGenWild, we've got robotics online, so we could either see some Immortals here or some Colossus coming out. But I think that in first instance, we'll see an Observer, so you can check out more what's going on. And there we go.
I would like to see Wild sort of poke around his base a bit. Obviously, if your opponent is warping those kind of units in, I mean, it'd be easier to deduce that there is a pylon, and there is one quite nearby. I'd like to see him kill that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that pylon could be very, very, very useful. If he decides to push, or I mean, it could also be used to spot any push that Wild's doing out. I mean, the positioning of it's rather excellent due to the fact that it's just behind that ledge there for the exit of the natural, so he can warp in behind units. So if he's, for example, if nGenWild goes to attack the front of the natural expansion, he can actually warp units in behind. So that's really good. So as you said, it would be awesome for Wild just to have a bit of a poke around, make sure there's no proxies, and take that out, because it could come into play as a major factor later on.
Yeah, Wild is getting up a lot of racks right now and only just starting stim. I think he might be doing like a 5-rack stim tiling push here. I mean, just getting that 5th rack's finished now. He's going to be able to push out a lot of bio very quickly, especially as his second base goes up and running. Whereas over here on GGnoRE, I mean, really just has the 4-gate and the robo going, and a robotic space, so he is going for those Colossus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think with regards to nGenWild, he's a bit under gatewayed at the moment. I mean, he's almost got saturation. I mean, he's got 70% saturation on his natural expansion there, and that's enough to support more gateways than he currently has. So it would be good to see him pumping out some more gateways, but I think maybe he just wants to get his Colossus online first. One thing to note as well, that we do have the Medivac support coming on for Wild, and Medivacs make Terran bio army is so much stronger. I mean, literally, you could have just a couple of Marauders and Marines take on, a massive Stalkers and Zealots, and with those Medivacs there and Stim, which is almost complete, they can really do a lot of damage to take on armies that are much larger as far as mineral, as far as cost is concerned.
Definitely. I also checked his vision real quickly, and Wild has actually seen the Robo Bay, so Colossus will not be surprising for him, and he might even get some Vikings just to preemptively counter that.
Yeah, definitely, and especially when you've got the starport there with the reactor, Vikings won't be a problem to whip out quickly if they are needed. nGenWild, he's got a sufficient amount of stalkers.
We have seen a drop leave his base, though. I just checked the vision of the observer that went past there, and it did not see this drop. There is 8 Marauders in it, but there is a pylon up here, and I suspect it will come into the vision here. I'm just holding the vision down, and will it come in? Almost. He does see the drop.
He does see it. Wow. I mean, that's really good positioning on the pylon there to actually spot that. I mean, a bit lucky, but also because he's going to be dropping his Marauders, there's no way he can't know that drop's coming now. So I'm guessing evasive action will take.
And killing the pylon. I mean, safe. I mean, really. He also spots the other pylon there, so 2 free kills for him.
Yep.
That's awesome work by Wild. He is still continuing with the drop, though.
I mean, the good thing about those 2 pylons being being shot is that it obviously takes down the amount of food count that he has available, as in nGenWild has available, but it unfortunately didn't actually cap him. And if you snipe 2 pylons, you would like to cap somebody, but it's good to note that nGenWild's ahead in his pylon count, and he's just warped in a bunch more as well. So obviously a very highly skilled player that keeps his eye on his top right of the screen. Now this drop here in the middle, I like how he's just sitting there for the moment, like to maybe make nGenWild think that he's not going to be doing that drop, and that could be used later on.
I think he's going to poke at the front, and then when he's poked at the front, obviously the army has to react. He'll drop in the back.
Yeah, and if you can just get a couple, like with those marauders, buildings sniped, because marauders are just devastating against any kind of building.
We've got a push coming here,
really change things.
Does Guardian shield up?
Drop as well.
Here we go.
Drop and push at the same time.
I'm going to watch the push. It is more exciting. Shields go up. A lot of bio getting completely destroyed there. Honestly,
wow.
Protoss just wrecking that completely. But there is a drop in the back of the base, which is uncontested. He will stim and run away. Keep in mind, he is macroing throughout all this. But basically does no damage to that. Kills a few zealots. But in the base...
I mean, in the base, we've got these marauders using stim. They've tech sniped the robotics facility, the robotics bay already. We've got gateways falling down left, right, and center. A lot of damage being done to the pros, but the only problem is, like, with 2 Nexus, it's not going to be hard to get them back.
Here comes the attack at the front, though.
Yep, main army of the Protoss, GGnoRE, is entering into the natural expansion.
Wild has
We've got
nothing.
a funky here that's being built.
Literally
there is nothing
there.
that's going to stop this.
No, that should be game. 4 Colossus,
yeah,
no Vikings. 1 Viking, sorry. That's going to be game. Whilst that drop was nice and cute in the back there, split his army apart. His army was actually really small as well. Wild types GG, failing yet again for another week. Someone should stop putting him in. But we will go down 3-0 in GG's favour. Someone needs to beat nGenWild. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see things even out a bit, but it just goes to show, how on fire nGenWild is at the moment, and how crappy nGen is. Apologies for that.
Oh,
you guys
okay,
are
yeah.
Awesome. I mean, you hold, as far as the clan is concerned, you hold the number 1 and 2 spot on the ladder for SCA at the moment, so definitely a very highly skilled clan. But obviously, Good Game has really highly skilled players too, and nGenWild undefeated.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that, but I guess we'll have to wait until Game 4, see if someone from nGen can come through. Keep in mind that if nGen wins this, they will need an all-kill. And if GG wins this game, they will get an all-kill. So whilst all-kills are awesome, could have 2 possibilities here, depending on who's put forward. Anyway, we shall wait until the next game, until we start cussing again.
Cheers.